Hi, it's Dave Fingers with my good friend, CEO and president of 3ACLEAN, Kyle Grivette. How are you today, Kyle?
Very good, Dave. How you doing?
Pretty good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Wonderful Thanksgiving. We had a small family gathering here, and the food was wonderful. The football was pretty crappy, but
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, exactly. COVID football, what do you know, right?
that's right.
All right, so hey, I've got three questions for you today. All right. So the first one is, what's the hardest part about building a business that you've encountered over the years? Given that you're obviously a highly successful businessman, you have a great company. I'm sure there have been a few bumps and challenges along the way. What's been the toughest thing for you?
Well, thinking about the toughest thing, and this is funny that you asked me this question because I was just thinking about this last night, and I've had, I think, 9 different partners in 35 plus years. And, finding the right partner, that's, a hard thing. Finding the right people to do the right jobs. In the beginning, I just needed to find people to do the work.
Right.
And that was out in LA. A lot of people ready to do the work out in LA, but finding the people that put their heart and soul into it, that cared, that they had pride in their work, that was the struggle. And I did find enough of them to where, you're able to build a business on it. But also finding the partners, and the 2 that I have now are the best that I've had. And they may not say the same about me. I don't know.
I think they say the same. I know them.
But that's it's really important is to have what they say. You've got to have the right people on the bus, but not just the right people on the bus. They got to be sitting in the right seats.
Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge, and I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. Has there been something that you discovered that has made it easier over the years, or was it just continuing the search to find the right people?
Well, continuing to find the search for the right people, but also, like I said, you got to find the people that complement. I don't do a lot of things very well. I'm good at a couple of things, and so sticking to what I do really, really well versus struggling through the things that I'm not good at. That's really the big piece of it. And today, where we're at is I don't have to, and it's not that I don't have to worry, but I don't have to think about operations at all hours of the day and night. Matt and his team have a great relationship with the people in the field. And I can't tell you how long it's been since I got a call in the middle of the night with some goofy situation. They take care of it, and I may hear about it the next day or the next week, and it just happens in conversations like, man, when we didn't have anybody to take this position at this particular time that night, we wound up pulling it together, and we brought a team over from here, and they got it done, and nobody knew the difference. And it's like, that's how it's supposed to be, baby.
Right, exactly. Cool. All right, second question. What's one myth about your industry that you'd like to debunk?
Well, I think that the biggest myth, and we get it all the time on a daily basis, where people call and they want a quote. And they think that by just telling me how much square footage that they have, that I'm going to come up with this magic number. Well, it's got to be per square foot, right? And it's like, well, that's a byproduct of me coming out there and surveying your situation, talking to you about what your expectations are, how often you want certain services done, because everybody needs periodic services, and putting that all together, and then coming up with the cost. And then when you've got the final cost and you figure out from that point, well, this is what your square foot price is, and it may or may not be close to what they had thought. Most people are living in the 60s and 70s at cost per square foot.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot of little nuances that come into play when you think about it, because like you said, it depends on the frequency. Well, I would guess, I mean, I'm not an expert in your business, but I would imagine it's the type of facility too, right? So types of furniture, office surroundings,
density, the number of people coming in and out, the usage in the bathrooms, break areas. Like, for example, let's just say that we're doing a business where there's transportation, where there are trucks coming in and out, in and out, in and out. Well, those drivers typically get a small break area and a small bathroom. And the companies that provide those areas typically will have us clean it one time a day, and at night. So it's destroyed by the time we get there. And if it's a 24/7 operation, as soon as we get done doing the work, more people come in and destroy those areas. So by the time the day people come in, the people that I would deal with in regards to the contract, they say nothing got done. And it's like, everything got done. You just got more people using those facilities. So that would be where I would recommend you need a day porter for these situations at least one more time a day so that these can be handled. And in a 24/7 operation, pretty much you need 3-shift support on those areas that are constantly in use.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially a high traffic area that's used 24/7. Okay. All right. So last question. Obviously, the pandemic has been a challenge for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But as a business owner, how has the pandemic changed the way that your company does business development?
Well, I think that it hasn't really changed all that much, other than the fact that we do more qualifying over the phone. People oftentimes don't like it. They still want you to just come out. Just give me a number. Just give me a number. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not how we do this. Another one of those myths. It's like, it takes more than that. I got to have a conversation. And if you're not willing to be a partner on this, where it means you have to do your end of the deal too. It can't just all be on me to do the work and then everything's great. They did their work and this is what we didn't have to do anything. Well, quite frankly, you do. You need to talk to your people. You need to have your people engaged with what my people are doing so that my people aren't taking care of things that don't need to be done.
Right.
And also, we already knew that we wanted to do business with a certain type of client. And during the pandemic, at the beginning of it, we find out that the largest part of our client base are in industries that are necessary. All of a sudden, essential. That's right. They're essential businesses. So really, we want to continue to work with essential businesses because those businesses make us not just recession-proof, but pandemic-proof. So that we can continue doing what we're doing, so that they can continue doing what they're doing. So, like I said, we were already on that path, and we had been already for a number of years. We're looking for the specific type of an account and client that works best with our methods, and we work best with their methods.
Makes sense. Yeah, because you said something, and every situation is different because you're not selling widgets, right? So every situation is a little bit different. Every facility is going to be a little bit different. So makes total sense. Excellent. Thank you again for your time today, my man.
You bet, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. And you have a great week.
You too, man. Adios.
Adios.